Welcome back, CoinJF collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating and potentially profitable world of a very specific and often overlooked coin, the 1983 D Lincoln penny. The 1-cent coin that just might be worth way more than face value. If you've got a jar of pennies lying around, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune because this small copper-coated coin, struck at the Denver Mint, has shocked collectors by fetching up to $442 or more in the current coin market. Yes, you heard that right, a coin worth just 1 cent at the time it was minted could now be worth hundreds of dollars, and in rare cases, even more. So don't blink, because in this video, we're breaking down everything you need to know about the 1983 D Lincoln penny. Its history, rarity, key errors, market trends, how to spot a valuable one, and most importantly, how you can cash in if you've got one hiding in your collection. Let's rewind the clock to the year 1983, a time when the U.S. economy was recovering, Ronald Reagan was president, and the U.S. Mint was adjusting its coin production strategy. Just a year earlier, in 1982, the U.S. Mint made one of the most significant changes in modern coinage history. It transitioned from using 95% copper pennies to zinc coins coated in copper in an effort to reduce production costs. Before 1982, pennies were made primarily of copper, but rising metal prices made them more expensive to produce than their actual face value. So, in 1982, the U.S. Mint began issuing pennies made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. However, the switch wasn't simple. Both copper and zinc coins were produced in 1982, leading to confusion and variety. But by 1983, the Mint had settled on the zinc-based composition for all circulating pennies. And that's where our focus coin, the 1983 D Lincoln penny, comes in. Struck at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d under the year on the obverse side. This penny was one of the early full-year issues to be composed entirely of zinc with a copper plating. But while millions were minted, not all were created equal. Some rare variations, striking errors, and special conditions make certain 1983 D pennies extremely valuable today. You might be wondering what could possibly make a coin that was mass-produced and widely circulated so valuable. The answer lies in errors, die varieties, and unique features that occurred during minting. With over 6.4 billion 1983 D pennies minted, only a small fraction have survived in pristine condition, and even fewer with the errors that collectors drool over. Some of the most valuable 1983 D Lincoln pennies include the following: magnifying glass tilted right die errors and doubling. Some coins show strong doubling in the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date 1983. These are known as double die errors, and collectors pay a premium for them. Off-center strikes and die cracks. Coins that were struck slightly off-center or have visible die cracks are considered rare and can sell for tens or hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity and condition. High-grade condition mint state. Most pennies you'll find in circulation are heavily worn, but a 1983 D penny in mint state 65 or higher, with no visible wear, sharp strike, and full red luster, can easily fetch $100 to $400 plus at auctions. In some cases, coins have sold for $442 or more, especially if they were certified by zinc corrosion issues. Since post-1982 pennies are made of zinc, many corrode easily, especially if damaged. That means finding a well-preserved 1983 D penny is even harder, making pristine examples increasingly valuable. Let's talk real numbers now. According to the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and recent online auction listings, here's what the 1983 D Lincoln penny can be worth today. Circulated coins are generally only worth face value. 1 cent uncirculated examples in MS60 to MS63 might fetch between $5 to $20. High-grade mint state coins, MS65 to MS67 red, have sold between $75 to $300. Exceptionally graded or visually stunning examples, such as MS67 plus red, have reached sales as high as $442 on platforms like eBay, Heritage, auctions, and great collections. Coins with doubling, off-center strikes, or other errors can reach well over $500, and in some cases even more if 2 or more rare characteristics appear together. And here's the kicker: the market for rare error coins and high-grade copper-plated zinc pennies is rising. With collectors actively hunting for rarities, the value of certain Lincoln pennies, especially transitional years like 1983, is expected to grow in the coming years. Now that you know what makes this coin special and how much it can be worth, let's break down how you can check your own coins to see if you have a winner. Step 1. Look for the D mint mark under the year 1983. If it has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, which is a different story. Use a 10x magnifying glass or coin loop to examine the lettering for any signs of doubling, especially in Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Flip the coin over and examine the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Look for unusual marks, cracks, or signs of doubling there too. Inspect the color. High-grade coins have a shiny red finish. The redder and more lustrous the coin, the higher its value if it's well preserved. Check for weight using a digital coin scale. A typical post 1982 zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If your 1983 D weighs around 3.1 grams, it might be a rare copper transitional error which could be worth thousands. If you think your coin is valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official grade and authentication. This can massively boost its resale value. So, is the 1983 D Lincoln penny just another coin in your change jar? Not necessarily. With the right features, sharp eyes, and a bit of luck, you could be holding on to a valuable collector's item worth hundreds of dollars or more. In a world where rare coin values are rising and demand from collectors is higher than ever, now is the perfect time to start hunting through your old coins. Every penny counts. Especially this one. Imagine turning 1 cent into $442 or even more. It happens every day in the coin collecting world. So get out your magnifying glasses, grab your coin rolls, and start checking because your fortune might be hiding in plain sight. And if you find one, or already have one, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1983 D Ultra Lincoln penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more awesome videos on rare coins, coin values, and money-making treasures you can find right in your pocket change. This is your host signing off, reminding you the next time someone says a penny isn't worth anything, just smile and check the date. You might be holding a $442 treasure. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Let me know if you'd like a thumbnail title, description, or voiceover version of the script. Today's video is going to completely blow your mind. Why? Because we're diving deep into a seemingly ordinary yet potentially life-changing coin, the 1975 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, just 1 cent. But don't be fooled. What looks like a small copper coin could actually be worth hundreds of dollars or even more. That's right, in today's collector market, some versions of the 1975 Lincoln penny have been valued at over $442 and counting. And that's just the beginning. So make sure you watch this video until the very end, because we're not only uncovering the true history of the 1975 Lincoln penny, but also teaching you how to identify rare varieties, errors, and secret minting details that could turn your pocket change into a powerful profit. Let's dig in. Section: The origin story of the 1975 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has one of the richest and most patriotic histories in all of American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, but one of the most respected presidents in American history. By the time we get to 1975, the Lincoln penny had already undergone several changes. It had been in circulation for 66 years and had become a trusted symbol of American resilience and unity. Minted by the United States Mint at various facilities, primarily Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the 1975 penny continued to honor Lincoln's legacy. The obverse side of the coin shows the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has remained largely unchanged for over a century. His profile is so iconic that even young kids recognize it instantly. Right next to him, you'll see the word Liberty and the date, 1975. Some coins will have a small letter beneath the date, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. No letter means it was minted in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely at the reverse, you can even see a tiny representation of the seated Lincoln statue between the pillars of the memorial. The level of detail is incredible. Now here's where things start to get really interesting. The majority of 1975 pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each one weighs about 3.11 grams. But even though billions were minted, yes, billions, some rare versions have become hot targets for collectors due to unique errors, high grades, or extremely rare minting varieties. One of the most desirable errors in the 1975 penny series includes double die obverse coins. These are pennies where the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date itself appear slightly doubled. If you spot doubling on your coin, and it's not from damage or wear, you might have something very valuable on your hands. Another rare error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is, off-center 1975 pennies can sell for anywhere from $50 to $300 or more. Also, keep your eyes open for clipped planchets, where a part of the coin's edge is literally clipped off due to minting issues. These errors are fun to find and can also add substantial value. And of course, any 1975 Lincoln penny that has survived in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially if graded MS67 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can fetch hundreds of dollars or more. One example includes a 1975 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 red, which sold for a jaw-dropping $442 in auction due to its condition, and I appealed. So now you're probably wondering, how do you know if your 1975 penny is one of these rare, ultra-valuable ones? Check the mint mark. Look below the year. If it has a small d, it was minted in Denver. An S means San Francisco. No letter? That's from Philadelphia. San Francisco pennies from 1975 were mostly proof coins, so they were not released for circulation. If you find an S coin with a mirror-like finish, hold on to it. That could be worth serious money. Examine the details closely. Use a magnifying glass or microscope. Look at "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date for any signs of doubling. If you see a clear separation or a ghosting effect on the letters or numbers, that could be a double die error. Check the weight. A normal 1975 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. Anything lighter or heavier might indicate a minting error or possibly a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Look for clean surfaces and sharp strikes. The fewer scratches, nicks, and signs of wear, the more valuable the coin. A 1975 penny that looks freshly minted with full red luster and no spotting or dull areas could be a high-grade piece. Get it graded. If you believe you have a rare penny, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for grading. A professionally graded coin has much higher credibility and can fetch significantly more at auction than the current collector market. Here are some price ranges for the 1975 Lincoln penny. Circulated examples are usually worth face value or slightly more, around 2 to 5 cents for copper content alone. Mint state examples in MS65 red can sell for $20 to $1.50. MS66 red graded coins range from $70 to $1.20. MS67 red examples are incredibly rare and have sold for up to $442 or more. Error coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets can sell anywhere from $50 to over $300 depending on rarity and condition. 1975 S-proof Lincoln pennies, especially in deep cameo, can also be worth $10 to $100 or more depending on condition and contrast. As collector demand increases and fewer high-grade examples remain in the wild, the value of premium 1975 Lincoln pennies is only expected to rise. Now here's the golden question. Where can you find one of these rare 1975 Lincoln pennies? The answer might surprise you. You can check old penny jars at home, pocket change from stores, coin rolls from the bank, flea markets and estates, Bay and online auctions, coin shows, and local coin dealers. People often overlook these coins because they assume pennies are worthless. But savvy collectors and treasure hunters like you know that the right penny could be worth hundreds. So, what are you waiting for? Check your coin jars, dive into your old piggy banks, and start looking closely at every 1975 Lincoln penny you come across. You might just be holding a tiny copper treasure worth hundreds of dollars. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden value of the 1975 Lincoln penny, smash that like button, share this video with fellow coin lovers, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another episode of the hidden treasures of US coins. Drop a comment below and tell us, have you ever found a rare penny in your pocket change? Or do you have a 1975 Lincoln penny you want us to take a closer look at in a future video? Thanks for watching, stay curious, and keep collecting. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next penny be a priceless one. Would you like a thumbnail title or short description to go along with the script? Today's video, we are diving deep into the incredible world of the 1976 Ultra Lincoln Centa coin that's been overlooked by millions, but is quietly gaining value among collectors and investors. So stay tuned until the very end, because we're not just talking about face value, we're talking about real market value, historical facts, hidden mint errors, collector tips, grading secrets, auction results, and everything you need to know to understand why this 1 cent is no ordinary coin. let's begin our journey into one of the most talked about pennies of modern American coin history, the 1976 Lincoln Memorial Cent Part 1. The origins of the 1976 Lincoln CNT. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American coinage since 1909, when it was first minted to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The design featured the famous right-facing portrait of Lincoln by Victor David Brenner, a design that still graces the coin today, making it the longest-running portrait design in U.S. mint history. Fast forward to 1976. America was in full celebration of its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of independence. While quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins featured special bicentennial designs in 1976, the humble penny did not get a new design. But even without a commemorative redesign, the 1976 penny holds its own surprising story, and more than a few secrets that can make a big difference in its value. Part 2. The composition and mint LOCATIONS. Now let's talk about how these coins were made. The 1976 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. At this time, the composition of pennies was 95% copper and 5% zinc. That means every penny minted in 1976 contains real copper, and due to rising metal prices over the years, the intrinsic melt value of these coins alone is now worth more than 1 cent. But wait, that's just the beginning. Part 3. Why the 1976 penny is valuable, ultra-rare variants, and ERRORS. Not every 1976 penny is valuable, but some are extremely valuable. The key lies in rare varieties, errors, and coin grading. Let's explore the rarest and most valuable types of 1976 pennies. Point 1. Double die obverse. Some 1976 pennies were struck twice on the front side of the coin. This is called a double die obverse error. This can cause doubling in the date, the word liberty, or the phrase "in God we trust." Collectors go wild for this error. Depending on condition, such coins have sold for over $300 to $800 at auction. Another valuable error is when the coin is not properly centered during striking. A 5% to 90% off-center strike can dramatically increase the value of a penny. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value, especially if the date is still clearly visible. Coins that were struck with broken or cracked dies can show raised lines or lumps on the coin surface. These unique characteristics are often referred to as cuds. A 1976 penny with visible die cracks can be worth anywhere from $10 to $150 depending on the severity and condition. Even a standard 1976 penny with no errors at all can be extremely valuable if it is in pristine condition. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds of dollars. In fact, a brilliant uncirculated 1976 Lincoln penny graded MS-67 red has sold for more than $442 on platforms like eBay and Heritage Auctions. Part 4. How to identify a rare 1976 PNNY. So, how do you know if your 1976 penny is valuable? Here are the steps you need to take. First, check the mint mark. Is it from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco? Next, look at the condition. Is it shiny and free from scratches? Or is it worn and dull? Use a magnifying glass to check for signs of doubling on the front text and date. Look for unusual features like off-center strikes, cracks, or lumps in the metal if your coin looks promising. Consider getting it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, a small detail can make a huge difference. One penny might be worth 1 cent. Another might be worth hundreds. Part 5. Coin values and market trends. July 2025. As of July 2025, the market for 1976 Lincoln pennies is hotter than ever. With rising interest in copper-based coins, inflation, and the growing popularity of coin collecting among younger generations, these pennies are seeing consistent demand. Let's take a look at some recent market data. A 1976 D Lincoln cent in MS-67 RD condition sold $4.442. A 1976 S-proof penny-graded PR70 deep cameo sold for over $1.25. A 1976 no-mint mark penny with strong doubling on the date sold $4.380 off. Center errors have sold for $100 to $250 depending on the severity. Collectors are especially willing to pay premium prices for coins with sharp strikes, vibrant red color, and error characteristics. eBay, Heritage Auctions, great collections, and local coin shops have seen spikes in interest for 1976 issues. Part 6. Tips for selling your 1976 PNNY. Do not clean your coin. This lowers its value dramatically. Take clear, high-resolution photos showing both sides listed on trusted platforms like eBay, Etsy, or coin-specific auction sites. Use accurate keywords like 1976 Lincoln penny, double die, mint error, MS grade, or copper cent. Get a free appraisal from a local coin dealer or show. Even if you're not ready to sell, it's wise to keep your coin safely stored in a non-PVC flip in a dry and cool environment to preserve its condition. Part 7. Why coin collecting is booming. NOW. The coin collecting hobby has become more than just a pastime, it's an investment opportunity. With copper prices increasing and a growing interest in U.S. history and tangible assets, rare coins like the 1976 Lincoln penny are becoming more sought after than ever. Whether you're a serious numismatist or just getting started, coins like this are a reminder that everyday objects can hold extraordinary value. Sometimes right under our noses. Final thoughts: check your change. So next time you reach into your pocket or count your change at the grocery store, take a moment and look closely. That 1 cent could be a 1976 Lincoln penny worth hundreds of dollars, or even more. Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin news, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny in your change. Stay curious, stay collecting, and as always, happy hunting. Would you like a matching thumbnail title, video description, and hashtags too? Today, these error coins are hot property in the collector world and often command prices ranging from $50 to $500 plus, depending on severity and grade. Some 1977 D pennies exhibit what's known as die cracks or cuds, raised lines or blobs where the coin dies were cracked during minting. These unique features can make a common penny extremely collectible. Let's take a look at some real-world sales. A 1977 D Lincoln cent in pristine MS67 plus red condition, graded by PCGS, was auctioned for $442, and that's just the beginning. Coins with rare mint errors have been known to reach even higher numbers depending on collector demand. There are also examples of coins with die rotation, or even mirror-like, proof-like surfaces, that sold for over $300 to $600 in specialty auctions. The demand for ultra-high-grade and rare pennies is exploding, especially in online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections. The bottom line is this: if you have a 1977 D penny that's in amazing condition, or has a unique error, you could be sitting on a mini jackpot. So how do you know if your penny is special? Does it have a shiny, red, uncirculated look? Is it perfectly centered? No nicks or scratches? Do you see any doubling of letters or numbers under a magnifier? Are there any odd shapes, missing pieces, or die cracks? If the answer to any of these is yes, do not spend it. Keep it safe and consider getting it graded by a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. Grading can cost a little money, but if your coin is worth $200, $400, or even more, it's well worth the investment. The 1977 D Lincoln penny is not just a piece of copper, it's a piece of American history and a potential future investment. As more collectors enter the hobby and high-grade coins become even harder to find, the value of coins like this one is expected to increase steadily. Think about it. Most of those 4.2 billion pennies have been spent, damaged, or lost over time. Only the best ones remain. And those few 1977 D Ultra pennies in mint state red could be the next $1,000 coins in the coming years. So the next time you get change at the store or empty your old penny jar, take a second look. That 1977 D Lincoln cent might just be your treasure in disguise. Whether it's a valuable mint error, an ultra-rare high-grade coin, or just a well-kept penny from a different time, there's no doubt that this small copper coin has a big story to tell and maybe a big payday. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a chance to learn about rare coins that could be hiding in your own home. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny, or if you're going to start searching now. Who knows, your story could be our next video. Thanks for watching, coin lovers. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking those pennies. Subscribe. Watch next video: Coin Collection Secrets Rare Coins Playlist. Would you like a thumbnail, text suggestion, tags, or SEO title and description for this video too? In this video, we're diving deep into the world of the 1982 ultra-rare Lincoln pennies. You'll discover their shocking value, their little-known history, and why collectors and investors are hunting them down today. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you might be rushing to check your coin collection. That 1 cent might be worth up to $442, and possibly even more if you hit the jackpot variation. So don't blink, because this coin is full of secrets. Let's rewind history for a moment. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, marking the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person in honor that Lincoln absolutely deserved. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent has since become one of the longest-running coin series in American history. For decades, the Lincoln penny was made of solid copper, a reddish-brown metal that gave the coin its signature look. But in the early 1980s, something massive happened. Copper prices skyrocketed. Producing pennies started to cost more than 1 cent. The U.S. Mint knew they had to make a change, and in 1982 they made that change. But it didn't happen all at once. Here's where things get very interesting. In 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from making pennies out of 95% copper to a cheaper version made of 97.5% zinc, coated with only a thin layer of copper. But rather than switching overnight, the Mint struck coins in both copper and zinc compositions throughout the year. 7 different varieties to be exact. That's right, there are 7 different 1982 Lincoln pennies. Each one is slightly different in weight, design, or metal composition, and some are worth just 1 cent, while others could bring you hundreds of dollars. One variety in particular, known as the 1982 D small date copper, is so rare that most people have never seen one in real life. When it was first discovered, collectors could hardly believe it existed. Let's break it down. In 1982, there were large date and small date varieties. There were Philadelphia and Denver minted coins, and each one could either be made of copper or zinc. 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D large date zinc, 1982 D small date zinc. But here's the real shocker. There's an 8th variety, 1982 D small date copper, a coin that was never supposed to exist. This coin is a genuine mint error, and only a few examples have ever been found. One of these rare pieces sold for over $18,000 at auction. Even the more common 1982 varieties can sell for $5, $10, $25, $50, or even more depending on condition and collector demand. 1 cent turning into hundreds. That's the power of coin collecting. So how can you find out if you have a valuable 1982 Lincoln cent? It's actually easier than you think. Look at the date. Is it 1982? Great, you're on the right track. Check the mint mark. A small d under the date means it was made in Denver. No letter? Then it's from Philadelphia. Determine if the coin is a large date or small date. This can be tricky, but here's a simple tip. On the small date, the number 2 has a very sharp, curved tail, and the 8 looks taller and more delicate. On the large date, the numbers are fatter and more rounded. Find out the metal content. This is where it gets exciting. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams. You'll need a digital coin scale to check this accurately. If you have a 1982 D small date that weighs 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might be holding one of the rarest pennies in modern history. Let's talk money. Right now, in 2025, the market value for some 1982 Lincoln cents has skyrocketed. The average copper variety in mint state can bring $5 to $50, but rarer pieces like high-grade small-date coppers or error coins can fetch hundreds of dollars. Collectors are actively searching for clean, uncirculated examples, especially those certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can break the $100 mark. And if you're lucky enough to own a verified 1982 D small-date copper, you're not talking $442. You could be looking at thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. One recent auction listed a nearly flawless 1982 cent for $442. And the price keeps climbing as collectors compete for the best examples. The demand is real, and the market is hot. So why all the hype about these pennies? It comes down to history, rarity, and a bit of mystery. The year 1982 marked a turning point in American coinage. It represents a transition from old to new, from solid copper to plated zinc. And whenever there's change, there's the chance for mistakes. And those mistakes can be worth serious money. Plus, the 1982 varieties are accessible. Unlike rare coins from the 1800s, these Lincoln cents are still floating around in circulation. That means anyone could find one. Collector, cashier, a kid checking change from a vending machine. You don't have to be rich to search. And that makes the thrill of discovery even greater. Let's recap. The 1982 Lincoln cent isn't just a penny. It's a portal to American history. It's a collector's treasure. And for a lucky few, it's a secret fortune hiding in plain sight. Right now, you might have one sitting in your pocket or coin jar. Go check. Weigh it. Look at the date. Study the design. You never know. You could be holding a $442 coin, or possibly something worth far more. And if you're passionate about coins, subscribe now. This channel brings you weekly videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and money-making secrets from the world of numismatics. Like this video if you learned something new, share it with fellow collectors, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare 1982 penny. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and remember, even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more coin secrets. Would you like a thumbnail text or video title ideas next?